Hello, welcome to the today's tutorial. So today we will start with the most such topic, the procedural content generation, which Epic have enhanced in 5.2, and it's been very great. I have been playing with this tool for like weeks, and it's really good, and the content you can generate it in an instance, and the feel and vibe it is giving, it's too awesome. So the effect which you are seeing right now, I haven't placed much, but it's just like I have done the whole thing in just 5 minutes, and that's it. You can have the look. Like if I will play, give me a second, let me play. Right now I haven't added the character yet, but you can see the feel, like how we can add the characters, the materials, the object which are lying here and there, the different variation which I have added, the trees, and we have some rocks also. So this is just the small demo, and let me show you how much easy it is. Like just clean up, let me do some cleanups here, and let me do some cleanups here, and boom. So in just 2 clicks it will generate like a charm. Let's imagine if we want to generate it on the larger area or the large scale area, you can do the same. Let's imagine if we want to have this thing with the wider angle, so you can just, like the box, you can just expand it and it will spawn the whole things in the next map also. So today we will learn how we can do these things with the procedural generated mesh. So first thing which you need to have is the plugin, and search for procedural content generation framework. So just turn this on. I have already turned it on. Just restart your Epic Unreal Engine, and it will take you it will turn on these features for you. So when you will click right, you can just see the PCG option. So PCG Graph, you can just click there. So let me open a new level, and I will click the basic one. Just click save. We don't have to, but let's see. I'm just deleting everything so I can have one landscape. Just the basic one will also work, or we can also scale it down to like 50-50. I don't want to have much on my plate, and I already downloaded some materials just to have the basic things on the landscape side. So let me put that. Surface, gravel, okay, and let me sculpt it. We don't need to do that, but just brush size, tool strength, and this is just the basic stuff which I am doing, so it looks good. Okay, let's turn it on a bit. Okay, cool. Okay, we are done. Go to the selection mode, and this is ready. Select the landscape, and I will put the materials on the basic one which I have downloaded. So it is all red, and you can see if we will play below, you can see we have the basic textures on the pebbles is there. So now here we will start the main tutorial. So what we will do, I will just create the PCG graph. So there are two things which you can do. The PCG graph you can directly drag and drop, and it will be the volume where you can select the stuff. Second, any actor which you have created, you can add it as the component, and it will use its mesh spline or something like anything like that. So these are the two steps which you can use. So let's look at the first. So let me have the tut one, and let me go to the PCG graph, and I will name it as grass one, the PCG underscore like general stuff landscape. So what we will do, we will create it for the landscape. So let me plug it in. So in the input you can see we have multiple types of input: actor, origin, landscape, landscape height, and excluded actors. So when we are choose, let me drag and drop here. So here you can see by default it is So by default it is taking the landscape type. So here you can see in the PCG component by default landscape. I will choose the landscape. So all the input we will see, let me we don't want to save it. In the input in input landscape height, it will all give the landscape. So we can just close it down. And second thing is, like in the PCG there are three terms, like one is input, one is output, and in between we will create the points and we will filter out the points. These are the three things or the four things we can do in the PCG. It's very simple. Let's imagine if we want to complex it out, the basic will remain the same. So this is a landscape. So what I will do, in the left you can see we will use the sampler. So we have different type of sampler. Let's imagine you want to you do have some mesh, and over that mesh you want to put something out using the PCG. You can also do that. So we'll use the mesh to point sampler, point sampler. So these are the different samplers which you can use. Okay, so point sampler, let me drag it here. Let me put this window like this, press D, wait, point, no, sampler, mesh to point, spline, surface sampler. Actually we want the surface sampler, as it will be the landscape. If we will press D after selecting the node, press D, it will give you like how it will spawn the things. So the basic mesh right now, the general stuff which I am created, yep, so it is just showing like what are the points and how it will be spawned. We can change the parameters. So at the right you can see these are the details which we can use. So this is the point per square meter. So we can change it. If we will make it 0.5, it is not changing because the point extent is quite high. We can change it to 10. So you can see now we have a lot more points. Now we can change this and you can see the variation. If we will make it large, it will just increase the density. So let me make it higher. So I do want to have it very dense, maybe a little bit low. Yes, now we do have the point. We can also use the transform. Let's imagine we want to make it up, make it down, maybe we want to scale it up, or just to add some variation. We will add one node called transform point. Okay, and these are still these like we have pressed D, so it is still in debug mode. I will again press D. So in the transform point, after transform point I am not doing anything, but you can change the things up, which we will. And after that, what I want to spawn, let's imagine we want to spawn actor, Niagara particle, be it static mesh. So you can spawn anything out like on this point. So if you will press D again, it will show you the same because we haven't changing anything. But let's imagine I want to spawn the things, but I do want to have some variation in the rotation, but in the z-axis. So minimum will be 0 and maximum will be 360. So it will add the variation to the look and feel. So now you can see the boxes are like randomized on the z-axis. We can also change the minimum and max scale. So uniform scale is checked. So 1 to 1.5 we can do that. So right now you can have a look like how some boxes are like big and some boxes are small. 0.5 to 1.5. So these are this will give you some variation. We can also use some offset, but I don't see the use of it here. So at this point I want to spawn some materials, sorry, the static meshes. So what I will do, spawn static mesh spawner. So you can spawn actor also, but for right now I will just use this, and I will connect it to the output. I'm just pressing D. So in the static mesh spawner we have to define like what are the meshes which we want to spawn. So let me have some space in the content. Okay, I have already downloaded some bushes, so I will just add that. So these are the static meshes which we have to add. Give me a second. So first is this. Let me put this. Oh fuck, these are quite big, so I will, sorry, control Z. Okay, I will choose something like which will take, which is very small. And so I will go to the mega scans which I have downloaded, and in the 3D plants we have these. So I will put this in the static meshes. Okay, we can add more. So these are kind of same. We will go to surface now, 3D asset. So in 3D asset, like these are the plants which are okay, but I also want to have some variation like tree trunk or something like that. Trunk, rock, no. Trunk, rusty car exhaust, I do want that. Next is rusty gear. Yes, let me create more. 6 rusty gear. I'm just putting some like meshes which I have downloaded. This is a fan. Okay, I think this is enough. So now when you will have a look, let me close it down and let me save this map too, so if even if it crash, tutorial 1 tutorial 1 save. So even if we did something wrong, so we can have some cache. So if we will play, so you can have the look like it is giving us that desert vibe. But and right now which you can see, we want it to be dense, but we want these particle to be less. So what we will do, go to the PCG, edit it, and in that ECG we can actually put weight to it. Let's imagine, so this one is empty I guess, so I will remove it. So this one is okay, this one is not okay. So what I will do, in the weight I will just point 2, so it will get decreased 0.2. Okay, I will increase the weight of others, so we can just only put the integers on. So what I will do, okay, what I will do, I will just put 3 3 3 3, and after 4 I think we are using like it is still bush, I want it to be 3. Yep, so I want to be 1, like very low. Same with, no, this is okay, we can put 3. No, 1, what is this? This is the gear if I'm not wrong. Yep, this is gear, we can put it 3. This is 1, this is 3, and rest of the things we can just put 1. So like using weight, you can just decrease and increase the like density of particular meshes. And let's imagine you want to control it more, just go to the descriptor. Let's imagine in some you don't want to have the collision, so you can have some collision settings to do, so you can make it more lightweight. Okay, so this is it for the fillers. Let's imagine if I'm not happy, so I can just increase it, decrease it, I can clean it up, and I can generate it again. It will give you that flexibility. And so this is one type how we can add, and the second type is we can create the actor, and inside that actor we can put that PCG on. So let's see how we will do it. Again, to one, I will create one blueprint class, BP spline PCG, click save. So inside that PCG I will add one spline, That's it. Click save, and I will add the PCG here. Compile and save. Okay, drag drop this. Okay, so what I will do, I will take this spline and will put it around the landscape. Think this will do the task. Just to understand the concept, you will have the idea. So I have put this spline. So along the spline we want to put something. So first thing is I do want to put some rocks, so like it will give the desert effect. So how we will do it, just close this down. We will again create one PCG underscore spline, save, go to the PCG one. So now in this we do want to use a spline. So what we will do, we will use the spline sampler. So we can have different type of sampler. Like previously we were using the surface sampler, like that means like we will use the landscape one. So in this spline sampler we'll just connect it. So all the spline, if we are connecting in the actors, so in the actor it will search for the spline and it will take it. Okay, and in the out we can just press D and we can have look if something is spawned or not. Right now nothing is there. First thing is the subdivision. I do want to have the points according to the distance, so let me have the distance on a spline, and after every 100 point we do want to have it. And next is the I do want to have after 10 seconds. So right now I cannot see it. Let me generate it if that's the problem. Select the PCG, generate, nothing is there. Let me check. Okay, we haven't selected the PCG yet in the blueprint, so just edit it in the PCG, just select that graph, PCG underscore spline. Yep, now it is connected. Compile and save. Now you can see we do have some big, like it is not the spline, it is, you can see the message small boxes there, which is like on this spline and after the certain distance. Let me put this 100, so you can see the more distance, like distance one. Yep, if it is visible to you. Okay, but I do want to have it after, like let's imagine 500 or 100. You can change it from here. Now it is visible. Cool. Next is I do want to have the rocks, but before that I do want to add some transform in the point. So we will use a transform just as like before, transform points, and in the transform point let me disconnect this. I will spawn the mesh and will close it down. In the mesh I will choose a rock which I have added. Let me check in mega scans 3D asset trunk rock. So this is the one. Let me add it in the mesh entries. In the description, select it, and you can see that okay, my GPU crashed. It will restart it. I wish I could have saved it, but okay, just press OK and let me restart it. I just restarted it, so let me again open the, let me check if the blueprint was saved. So in the PCG, okay, it is there, and let me open my spline. Okay, so these two nodes are gone. Let me put those again. So this was the transform point. After transform point it was the spawner, the static mesh spawner, and in the spawner I was trying to put that rock. So let me do that. Content, megascan 3D asset, rock, select the rock and put it here. Save it. Okay. Right now I think that we have added the distance too close, so in this sampler we will make the distance to 500, so we will have some, you know, some space. Next thing what you can do in this plane sampler, in the transform point, we can add some variation to it. So in the offset, what you can do, in the Y I will put minus 500 to 500. So you can see like they have arranged like it is not the uniform like it was before. We can also put it like closely or 200 something, so we will have certain offset to it. In Y, in X direction also you can have some variation, and in a scale also you can put some variation like 1 to 1.5. We can also like go for 0.5 to 1.5, so you will have all type of rocks. Okay, next what you can do, again let me put the comment on, as this is rock inner. So I will just copy this thing and paste it again, and here what I will do, in this spline I will scale it up, so it will be 1 till 5, and I will connect it with this output, and in the transform I will transform it away, so it will be like 500 to 1000. So it will be like they are bigger than the inner one, so it will give you that natural look. Yes, I think you got the idea, right? Like how we can add it. Next thing is I do want to have one more like outer circle maybe, or the inner. I do want to add some trees on, so I'll do the same again, copy. This is rot outer. mm, this will be the spline sampler, and the distance is 500 is okay, but this will be the trees, this will be for the trees. So what I will do in here, let me delete it everything. I will add 2 3 trees. So in the basin meshes Florida Dehons, let me add these really fast. Select these, pine. Okay, let me save it, let me connect it. Okay, so right now you can see it is very big and dense. So what we will do, we will put this away, really away. So I will maybe like 2000 to 5000. Next is I will scale it down because it is really heavy and massive. Like when we will play, you can see like it is good, like it is really looking good. Maybe I will, in the sampler I will decrease it 100, so it will be really dense. So when I will play the game, no, it is really dense. Let me convert, like use 300, which is kind of cool, not that heavy, still they are. And in the transform setting we will know till 5. I will use 3. I think this is sort, this will do the things. Next thing is I will use one inner circle in which I will like put these debris on which was there. So this I will just copy this and paste it again. static transform. Let me delete this, and in content map, sorry, not with the map, mega scan 3D asset. So 3D task, we can use this. Next is for info maple tree rusty car, this thing when okay, rusty gear, peony gear, ring, radiator. I think this should be enough. And for this, what I will do, I will again use the transform point. I will use the scale 1. I will put the 0, 0. And I will use the offset like minus 400 of 600. So, and this plane sampler I will put it like 100. Again 50, 20. Okay, transform point again. I do want to scale it up like 3, so you can see the boundaries on. Okay. Okay, let me press F11, Alt P. So if you will see it from here, this is actually looking dense, and if the character will be walking, so he will be like at this height. So it is really fast and really fun to make, because like in instant you just have to create that graph once, and you can use the same settings like and again in different map. You don't have to place meshes separately. So it is a really good tool which Epic have provided. So this was it for today. Just do like the tutorial, do subscribe it. If you have any problem understanding some topics, just do let me below. I will try my best to sort the things out. Thank you and have a nice day.